How's it going, guys? Grimsie42 here, and I've got a variety of pickups to show you guys today. Stuff ranging from Wii U, Xbox 360, even a Japanese Saturn game, which I'm really excited to add to the collection. The first thing I want to show you guys, though, is actually very odd, and if I'm not mistaken, it's one of three that I need to have a full set, if that's hard enough to believe or not, for a specific console, and it is called System Flaw. And as you can tell, it's a DS game, but if you look right there, it says only plays on DSi. As far as I know, there were only 3 games that were specifically made for the DSi, and it's kind of got a white cart, kind of like the 3DS. So this is one of the 3. I'm definitely looking for the other 2. If I'm not mistaken, one of them doesn't come in a case. I've got a little more research to do on that, but I'm pretty sure it's only 3 games to get the entire collection of those. So definitely looking forward to doing that. Keeping with the Nintendo trend, the next item I'm going to show you is a little late to the party. I've taken a little bit too long to get this one out to you, and I do apologize, but this is the big box for Mario Party 10. And I have in the past collected Amiibos. Recently, I've actually purged my Amiibo collection just for a number of reasons. I found that I wasn't using them. I was too concerned with their value and keeping them in the package, and in my honest opinion, that is not what they're about. I know it's cool, and I know they're collectible, and they're going for a ton of money, but I just felt that I wasn't getting enjoyment out of them, so I'm saving up for something really big in the near future, and I just had to let them go. I got very fair prices for them, so I was definitely happy to help a fellow collector complete their collection, and at the same time, give myself a ton of shelf space, because they literally were covering like 80% of my games. But I will be keeping this one just because it's the big box, and the reason I'll be keeping this is it goes well with my Hyrule Warriors Limited Edition, my Mario Kart 8 Limited Edition, and then the Wind Waker Limited Edition. So I'm always on the lookout for the big boxes, and I think it goes well with the set, like I said. Other than that, that's, I think, it for Nintendo, so I'm going to move on to Xbox. This first one here I got at a very affordable price. I definitely was not complaining, and it is called Paria. Again, not super sure what this one was about, but it was a very inexpensive game, so I figured I would give it a try. It looks obviously like a first-person shooter. I mean, that's really all Xbox is known for. But next one we got here, I'm going to have to clean this, got a little residue on it, is a Blockbuster exclusive, and it's Outlaw Volleyball. Next one here is yet another Blockbuster exclusive. It's Outlaw Golf 9 Holes of Xmas. 9 more holes, to be specific. And complete. Obviously, those will never be as valuable as the other Xbox exclusives, but at the same time, I definitely wanted to pick those up while I could, and they were 99 cents each. This next one here I picked up from one of my local Oogie games. It looks interesting, and it's Taito Legends, and I guess it's got like 29 games on it, so definitely a really cool compilation disc. I really like to pick these up when I can. Moving on to Xbox 360. This next one here I picked up as part of a 4 for $10 sale, so it was $2.50, and it is Dishonored, another Bethesda game. Looks relatively interesting, and it's got everything in there, so definitely excited to check that one out. I was really excited to get this one, and then I found out that there was a Volume 2 for it, so I'm on the lookout for that. And it's Konami Classics Volume 1, and complete in there. And then this actually has Castlevania Symphony of the Night, Super Contra, and Frogger, and I believe these are the arcade versions of those games. Obviously excluding Symphony of the Night, so because that was a console game, but looks really interesting, and I think the games on Part 2 were pretty impressive too. This next one here is a GameStop pre-order edition with bonus content, and the cover art is odd. It almost looks fake, but I know it's real. Just looks like it's got odd print quality, and it's Divinity 2 Ego Draconis. And it's pretty heavy. Looks like it's only 1 disc, but the manual is very thick. It looks like it's like a 100-page manual, so that's probably where a lot of the weight comes. I picked this one up just because of the title. I'm pretty sure it's not going to be a good game, but I'm willing to give it a try, and it's a system exclusive, which I do like to track down. It's Bomberman Act Zero. And Konami now owns the rights to Bomberman, if anyone was not aware of that. So, thought I would give it a chance. This next one here I picked up for, I want to say, like $10. and it is the Final Fantasy 13-2 Collector's Edition, and it's really, really beautiful. It's got a inner box like this, and then I think it slides out again, yeah, to almost like a hardcover manual of sorts, and inside it's got multiple discs. It just, I mean, I'm not really too familiar with how, there it is. So it's got just like a whole library of discs. I don't know, it's a soundtrack and just all kinds of awesome stuff. So definitely a really, really nice collector's edition. And like I said, GameStop had it at a very good price. I think the real price was like $17, but I had a couple coupons and a promotion that I took advantage of, and I picked it up for about $10. So even though I already had all three of the 13 series on PS3, I did not have a collector's edition for this specific one. And I thought, what better time to add it to the collection? And my Xbox collection can always use a boost. It is one of my smaller collections. This next one here, I actually was lucky enough to get from a guy that I work with. He found out that I collect video games, and he had let me know that he had some PS2 games, and he said most of them were RPGs. And I was super excited because there was a lot of RPGs on the PS2 I still needed. And of that lot, this was one of the ones I needed. And it's the third episode of Xenosaga, so Xenosaga 3. And I already had the first two, but definitely happy to add this one to the collection. It is by far the most valuable. It's actually worth more than Part 1 and 2 combined. So definitely happy to close out that trilogy. This next one here is actually one of my most wanted PS2 games. It's not a cheap game by any standard, and I finally was able to pick up the clean copy. A guy actually posted on a Facebook group that I'm a part of, had this in a lot, and I actually asked him, I said, you know, I really only need this one, will you separate? And fortunately he was willing to do that, and he gave me a very fair price. I would say about $25 less than this goes for online. And without further ado, it is Wild Arms Alter Code F, and it's in really, really good shape. It has the bonus DVD included, which you don't usually see, and then also the main disc, obviously. And what I like this so much for is that this is a graphical uphaul of the original Wild Arms, and they added new stuff like cutscenes and extra characters that are playable, stuff like that. But I really enjoyed the first Wild Arms, so to be able to pick it up on a more modern generation system and with the updated graphics, definitely looking forward to this, because I felt like the only real flaw in the Wild Arms games, or at least the first Wild Arms, was the 3D graphics were just not where they needed to be in the battle scenes, and this definitely will get past that, as these graphics are very much more than acceptable. So super, super excited to get this one out of the way. Alright guys, I got 4 more games here. This first one I picked up from my buddy Matt, who you guys may know as somebody who's appeared on a couple episodes of Greg's show, Arcade Impossible. Matt was a really, really cool guy, and he actually reached out to me about this, and this is something I've been looking for quite some time, and I've actually had some bad luck with it. I would find it, and it either would be tore up, or the manual was missing, or whatever, but this copy is like a 9 out of 10, so hats off to Matt, and I'm super grateful, and he gave me a very fair price. It is Samurai Western, which is an Atlas title, and thankfully, the manual is included, and then he actually gave me the Arcade Impossible Twin Galaxies card, which I thought was really, really cool. And it's awesome that Greg actually has his own Twin Galaxies card. So Greg's a really cool guy. I've met him a few times, and I really enjoy his channel. I'll link it below if you guys have not heard of it yet. But definitely, definitely happy to knock another Atlas title off the list. Alright guys, 3 more titles, and I saved the best for last. These are all heavy hitters and in amazing condition. Like, honestly, these are 3 of the cleanest games of their respected system in my collection, if not the cleanest. The first one I'm going to show you guys is a Saturn import, and in my personal opinion, this is the best version available of this game. If you're a fan of this game, or if you're looking to get a copy of this game, this is the version I would recommend. Obviously, it is not going to be in English, which is unfortunate. However, I think this is more of a game where you just use it for the gameplay. And this is the Saturn Japanese version of Castlevania Symphony of the Night. And unfortunately, this never came out in America for the Saturn, but it is in like near perfect condition. The disc is flawless, and it also has the spine card, as you can see, kind of moving around right there. And basically, One of the cool exclusives of this is the female character Maria is actually playable. In addition to that, I believe there's actually a couple more rooms you could explore, stuff like that. So not like a major change, but anyone who's a fan of this game, this is, in my opinion, the definitive version, and I definitely recommend, if you haven't checked this series out yet, Symphony of the Night is absolutely awesome. Give it a try. It's available on PS1, and it's also available on, I believe, the PlayStation Network and the Xbox Marketplace or whatever, and also on that Konami disc that I randomly had. So a variety of ways to check it out. This next one here is a game I've actually owned in the past, and there's actually a really funny story that I'll tell you guys about this. Unfortunately, I had to part with my PlayStation collection when I was a bit younger to pay some bills. My car basically broke down, and I needed a car to keep going, so I had to move my Sony collection, and at the time, you know, I had gotten a lot of money for it, but I really regretted it, and this is one of the games that I wanted to get back into the collection. And it's a really fun game. It's Strider 2 by Capcom, and the cool thing that I wanted to tell you about this is, if you notice, there's the first disc which says Strider, and then this is one of the very few games where the single disc case, and I'm going to be careful here, actually opens. As you can see there's Strider 2. Now, what makes this really unique is they actually made a mistake, and the Strider 1 disc is actually Strider 2 and vice versa. So as far as I know, all of these have a printing error where the wrong game is actually on the disc, so that's really, really odd and really, really interesting. Definitely thought I'd share that with you guys. This last one here, I kind of missed the train on, and I missed out on it when it was originally out, and I really wanted it. I thought it had really cool cover art, and I later played the game, and I really, really liked it. I downloaded it from a recent PlayStation Network sale, and I had to get my hands on a physical copy, and it is Clona Door to Phantomile? I don't know, that seems like an odd word. Phantomily? I don't know, somebody's gonna say it, be like, oh you dummy, it's this, but it kind of looks like, it's like Phantom Isle, so Phantomile? I don't know, whatever, I can't read today, I apologize. But it is a super, super clean copy. I literally would give this a 9.5, and I just dropped part of it. But, so it's about a 9 now. But it's got the disc, and the part that really attracted me to this one is it even has the little Namco pamphlet in with it. So definitely super, super happy to add this to the collection. Hopefully I will not drop it again. And I've been waiting to get this bad boy on the shelf for a while now, so it's something where I've actually popped in and tried out. Like I said, I just had to play the physical version. The DLC version is nice, but I just love, there's something about popping the disc in that just makes it so much more fun to me. I don't know, maybe it's the loud, horrible grinding sound that my PS3 likes to make. But anyways, guys, super, super happy about these pickups. I appreciate you guys watching and sticking around to the end, and until next time, take care.